Good evening, kiddies. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time for a little bit of, well, I'm not going to do Doctor Who news yet. There's a lot of stuff that's still coming in from Comic-Con, and I want to compile all that, actually sit down, have a chance to read through all of it, cut through the fat, cut off the fat, so to speak, and then, run it down to you, bit by bit. But just for tonight, I think I'm just going to give you a little trailer review here. Take a look at some of the things I thought was, pretty weird in tonight's trailer. Also, I've gotten some info off of Twitter that helps fill in just a few of the gaps. So I'll see what I can add in from that to help out. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Let's get really down to the nitty-gritty, because the first image that I have up for you is the one that really intrigues the crap out of me. This one. That is by no mistake or any way, shape, or form a classic series Dalek in the background with a bronze Dalek. We have to wonder just what the heck is going on here. Is this some kind of time-space thing, or is this something to do with the rumored Davros quote-unquote opener? We don't know. But I just thought this picture very stirring. Also, in a way, we should have been expecting this, given the fact that they have Daleks that they built for an adventure in space and time. Classic series Daleks, fully operable. And it's nice to see that they may be pulling them out here. Once again, time will tell. Also, one other thing we found out today, September 19th of this year, is when Series 9 will premiere. And that is a couple weeks later than we expected. But at the same time, as we brought up earlier tonight in Hot Trailer Action we recorded for Whovians, this will put Christmas less than 2 weeks after the finale for Series 9. So you ain't got that long of a wait, for the Christmas special this year. Then you're just going to have to sit and wait how many months after that, though. But that's a whole other matter, and we're looking forward to Series 9. And this right here really has my, has it really going. Ooh, doggy. Look at that. Oh, baby. Let's zoom in a little bit on there. So just take a look at that again. Nice to see that. Okay, now this one here is pretty peculiar. It's an eye. We've got some stuff here in the foreground, but you'll notice there's possibly some figures. Like I said, I'm not sure on that, but interesting. And once again, we have this guy here, who appears to have a beard, long hair, and a crown. And no, he is not King of the Jawas. But very interestingly, just judging by the way the crown looks and all that, I'm beginning to wonder if this is Odin from the quote-unquote Vikings on Space thing that Capaldi referred to earlier today. And we have Jenna here running from something, obviously, here that just came around the corner. Unfortunately, some of these were taken mid-action, so they're going to be a bit blurry, unfortunately. Sorry. But this one really blew me away. Take a look over here. Yes, kiddies, the roundels are back. There are roundy things in the Tardis again. And I just thought that was an amazing addition. And considering, they keep referring to the roundels, which had been around since the very first series up till, the recent Tardis incarnations, which had their own little variants of it, but they weren't just quite dead on. So it's nice to see the roundels are back. Kind of a nice little throwback there to the old series. Not without being just way too out there. Very nice lighting effects on them too. Okay, now this is obviously the quote-unquote undersea base we've been seeing. And of course, this reflection from the light, up ahead with the water, flowing around on the top. They kind of like SeaWorld from hell, so to speak. And let's take a little quick zoom in here. Look, we can go right down the corridor. But also keep your eye on these emblems. And here's these fellas. We've already seen pictures of them from earlier in the series filming. Kind of makes me wonder what these little tanks here are for, that they have these little niches in their helmets for. And of course, we got the hands shooting up out of the ground, Walking Dead style, or Resident Evil style. But they don't look like they're a dead person or anything like that. But we got to wonder what's going on here, all right? Who's coming up out of the mud, so to speak. Kind of reminds me of that scene with Colin Baker at the end of Trial of a Time Lord, Mind Warp. But oh well. Or was that mine? Oh, crap. What am I thinking? Oh, yeah. It'll hit me in about a half an hour that I got the wrong title, but oh, well. Then, of course, look at this. We got Abe Lincoln from Hell here. Notice the hat. And, oh, that's like something right out of one of those old ghost pictures. He's obviously got mutton chops. Looks like it to be an older suit. So we got to wonder what's going on with these guys. Why are they here? And there's obviously more than one. Here's, these two folks in the back. It kind of like has a feel to the, like the fog going on here. If anybody remembers that movie, please don't remember the remake. And of course, I've already gone over this one. And of course, we got what appears to be, I think, a three-faced man. Because as Graham brought up earlier tonight, there's 3 decks of cards, there's 3 drinks, and I think there's 3 faces. And this is like almost an Asian-style hat, or like a farmer's hat that would be worn, over in the, what do you call it, like China or along that line. And of course, we got Iron Eyeball here, or whatever this is going on. Notice the slit and the riveted style casing. All right, moving on. Now, this is where we get nifty, because these emblems look a little bit familiar. Now, Girly Letters brings up on Twitter that these look a lot like the Vector Petroleum symbols, what we saw in the emergency switch, and also that sign that came out on the Instagram stuff earlier on in the filming. When they were putting up those on the Doctor Who Instagram page. So we got to wonder, is this a whole base being run by this company called Vector Petroleum? Or we'll find out. And she also brought up that apparently this particular character is being played by Zaki Ismail. He's playing a character named Lun, and this is in episode 3 or 4. Let's move on, shall we? Now, this one's very peculiar because we have Missy looking into her compact when she notices there's a red dot here. What this means, we don't know. The leading theory right now is this is possibly a sniper rifle. Now, as one of the things that's been revealed that has been brought up is about Missy possibly being responsible for the death of Danny Pink. What if that's somebody we know leveling that cannon or that rifle or whatever that is? She ain't too happy about the death of Danny, and you know who I'm talking about. And of course, this is a nice little moment here where Capaldi kind of gives a shrug. Okay, now this city has brought about some debate. It could be an alien city. As you'll notice, there's a lot of desolation around it. There are some theorizing that this is possibly Scaro before the domes. Or this could be a Dalek city. Or some kind of alien world. But, it does appear to be an alien world. Or maybe it's Earth in the far-flung future. We don't really know. Some have even gone as far as to say this is very, very, very ancient Gallifrey. But once again, we don't have anything solid on that to identify this either way. There's a little zoom in closer there to the main building. Okay, then we have Mr. Cleaverface here. Whatever. It looks like somebody's took a machete to his head. Also, he looks like something like a reject from Hellraiser. And also check out the whole Dark Lord of the Sith feel we've got going on here. Kind of makes us wonder, who is this guy? Let's take a closer look at him. All right, so it looks like his face has been banded or something's going around it. We're not sure. Is it some type of alien species? Possibly. All right, let's move on. Now, some are theorizing that this could be, because of the red robes on either side here, that this is something to do with the Sisters of the Flame, a.k.a. the Sisterhood of Karn. We don't know. Because if I remember right, there were chapters of nuns that wore red habits, red, dresses and whatnot. So I wouldn't be too bit surprised, a little bit too surprised to find out that that's what the case is here. Then we zoom in a bit closer. That's about all we can get before we go pixelated at these figures over here wearing similar outfits. Possibly maybe some kind of weird thing going on here. It's an underground lake meeting. We don't know. Okay, Clara looking rather concerned. A nice shot of the roundels. And also it looks like they've put some, maybe a little bit of brighter lighting there on the outer ring. The Tardis console room, make it stand out a bit more. And of course, notice she's wearing the orange spacesuit again. I think the last time we saw that was in, well, no, it wasn't Kill the Moon. Was it Kill the Moon? That's right, it was Kill the Moon, I think. Capaldi looking mightily concerned. And Missy looking scared out of her, or something has definitely surprised her here. Now you got to figure, what could make the master go, what the hell? Okay, let's keep moving on. I'm not too sure who this character is. I haven't seen any real references or anything along that line. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just speculating here just like it. Now, this one has been covered on Twitter. This character is being played by Colin McFarlane, who some of you may remember as the big bad, bombad American general in Torchwood, Children of Earth, who was jumping around saying, "We gotta hand over the kids." You know, remember that actor? Well, that's who that is. And he's playing a character called Moran, and apparently I think this is episodes 3 or 4 again. Not sure. And here's the underwater base laid out for us. We gotta wonder, where's this at? Is this on an alien world? Is this on Earth? We don't know. Clara looking rather scared as apparently something's coming at this door and she's hiding from it. Also look at the style of clothing, the way it buttons up and whatnot. Very interesting choice of fashion there. And of course, the Zygon who's stealing children. We don't know why this is happening, but it is rather peculiar because apparently from what Gurley Letter said over on Twitter, nobody actually got photographed this particular thing taking place, so we don't know when this was actually shot, but still. Why are Zygons grabbing children now? And the chorus, Capaldi rocking out on the guitar. And whatever the heck this thing is, it looks like a combination of Predator and several other alien species I've seen across various genres. And it's very, very menacing looking. It's staring right down at Capaldi's face. And he is looking up at it in terror, maybe wonder. He's just, wow, what the heck is that? And, of course, a nice shot, close-up of what is definitely, I think judging by the eyebrows, it's safe to say this is Clara. What is she looking at? We don't know. But apparently it's not a very happy time. Of course, Clara back in the spacesuit. And we have this fella coming at the camera here. And apparently he's wearing some kind of gear. Not sure who he is or what it is. Or this looks like it's the underwater base set again. And there's Clara and the doctor running from what appears to be these guys coming at him. But if you zoom in real close, this does appear to be the character I brought up that's played by Colin McFarlane. Matter of fact, definitely is when you go in for the zoom in on this shot. You can see the absence of eyes, same general physical build. And apparently, from what Beef had said earlier tonight, this is light reflecting off the dog tags. So no, it's not Iron Man, or he's not related to Tony Stark. But this photo right here really stirs me. Because look at the amalgamation of gear. The fact you've got biplanes shooting lasers. I'm beginning to seriously think that this is Scaro sometime in the later point of the war. Now, a refresher course for you folks who have not seen Genesis of the Daleks. The war on Scaro between the Thals and the Khalids had gone on for so long that they had literally began to go backwards in technology because the materials to develop modern machinery, modern combat war, machinery had begun to be depleted. Matter of fact, you had soldiers running around in animal furs along with advanced fibers. You had soldiers running around with ray guns, and at the same time, they also had crossbows, flintlock rifles, and repeater rifles, because that is how long the war had gone on. So the fact that you've got what appear to be biplanes shooting lasers would fit into this. But we got to wonder what's going on in this scene. Is this Scaro? It does look like it. And it would, considering the amalgamation of gear that we see in this photo, it is definitely believable. And Clara and Missy together, and this, stuff we saw from Tenerife filming, got to make you wonder, what's going on with these two? Why are they together? Especially when we're finding out she's responsible for Danny Pink's death. But, Missy. Interesting setup there. And Clara looking rather concerned as the doctor's putting on some sunglasses. Now, apparently these might have something to do with what's going on. We don't know. There we go. That's the clear shot. And once again, this is Capaldi. I think this was done at Lantern. And this is, once again, I think he's realizing just where he is at this point. If this is Scaro, then it's got to be hitting him like a ton of bricks. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be in this particular time frame, if that's what's going on. And, of course, the big shocker that came just after with Maisie Williams. Hello, old man, what took you so long? Once again, I wouldn't play too much into that because they could be using this as a ruse, as to make you think, okay, this is some other character that the Doctor's encountered in previous adventures on screen. It could easily be a fact that this takes place. Remember, this is in 2 episodes. This is a two-parter, which is the girl who died and the woman who lived. And what if it's just her turning up later on in that story, and that's why he recognizes her? So if it is someone who's definitely had a previous experience with a Doctor, other than that, then I'll be I'll actually be shocked, and it'll be something very, very interesting, I'm sure. And of course, they zoom in on her a bit, and he goes, "It's you." And I'm sorry, but she's got that crazy look in this photo. I just caught this at the right time, kind of like that, look that your ex-girlfriend gives you, like, "Why don't you call me now?" Kind of look. Okay, I think that's about all I had because we go back to the beginning there. Okay, so that's a quick trailer breakdown for you. Well, not so quick because it lasted a little while. But still, that's all I got on that. I'm going to sit down and do a separate news video for all the panels and such. We already covered the Lego Dimensions thing. There's also a lot of other stuff that's being dropped and other, the other panels that happened across the day. Also, there were a lot of interviews that went on, and I've been sitting down trying to sort through all those, trying to get the relevant information out of them. Crazy stuff. Also, please go watch the interview I did with Tim Treloar earlier today. He's one of those actors that have been all over the place, yet you don't know him. And now he's going to be playing, the third Doctor in the upcoming box set, the third Doctor Adventure box set that's coming out later in this autumn. And it was really nice to get down and sit, have a talk with him and whatnot. Okay, that's all I got. Remember, Omega Files on Saturday is going to be Doctor Who and the Daleks. And that is going to be a definite trip back in the past, especially, in the Peter Cushing movies. They did some things differently that were pretty good. And there were some other things that were kind of but come on. It's still an enjoyable little romp, and I think we'll have some fun talking about it. Okay, but until next time, folks, have a good one. Take care. Ta-ta. Enjoy the rest of your evening.